Hey guys, today I'm going to be playing Dungeons 2. This is a real-time strategy game with some dungeon management slash building elements to it. So I'm going to get straight into it, but before I start, I'm just going to say that there's a lot of narration in this game, so I might not be doing a whole lot of commentary, unfortunately, because the narrator is actually pretty funny and he talks a lot. So let's get straight to it.
It was time. The troops of the Absolute Evil had driven the Alliance back to their capital, King's Ending. The time for the final battle had arrived. Prepare to destroy the Alliance, and with it, all good in the land once and for all. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows, where the sun shone all the time, and there was loads of that goody-goody, lovey-dovey good people stuff going on. There, the alliance of abominably good people lived in unearned wealth and prosperity. But there was a path leading to a different place there. At the end of this path was a rock. There was a cave carved in this rock, in which the Absolute Evil lived. It wasn't a grubby, damp cave smelling of muck and mildew, but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it. It was home to numerous innocent monsters, who enjoyed a happy, contented existence, living in complete harmony with their environment.
That is, that is so hilarious.
The sickening,
That pony.
sweet-smelling good visited this underworld in search of treasure and experience points. Many monsters found this to be the death of them, but much worse, the Absolute Evil's treasures were being stolen. One day, just as a few more heroes had finished plundering its dungeon, the Absolute Evil decided it had had enough, and decided to do something new, something quite monstrous. Go to the surface. The Alliance tried to resist, but the approaching horde just flowed over them like an angry wave of axes, teeth, and bad breath. After numerous unrelenting battles, the Absolute Evil finally stood before the Alliance's capital, King's Ending.
Alright, so here we go. This first level is nothing like the rest of the game, so keep that in mind. The first level is kind of like a typical, like, top-down action RPG.
After countless battles, the forces of the Absolute Evil reached the Alliance capital, King's Ending. The laughable remnants of the forces of good had come here to make ready for the final battle. Evil would pay a high price indeed to storm those fortress walls, or so they thought. Suddenly, a rumble rose from deep within the earth. Stones burst asunder, revealing an ancient path into the depths. Out of the depths of Stygian darkness arises the invincible evil. With earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable evil began its trek towards the front. In the terribly improbable event that it may have forgotten how that works, a formidable help function has been provided. Even the forest could not withstand the aura of the ultimate evil, and beat a hasty retreat.
So you essentially play as the ultimate
A few of the
evil,
Alliance units had entrenched themselves.
or the prime evil.
A determined Absolute Evil marched towards them in order to strike them down with its mighty weapon.
Something kind of funny here, your health is 1337, and your damage is 666. Just kind of funny little things.
Absolute Evil had discovered a medal. These legendary rewards ensure the creature could be made even more powerful. Eyes ablaze with greed, the insidious evil gazed upon the blood-drenched battlefield. Here the last defenders of good would die, and an age of evil begin. Projectiles from the Alliance's catapults darkened the sky, but the Horde's fighting skills were at their best in darkness, if they survived.
So I'm extremely OP, as you can see. Nothing really stands a chance against me.
The absolute evil.
Can kind of just walk through all these guys.
The absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the east with the greatest of ease. Now, only one tiny camp offers any resistance to the absurdly evil evil.
You might want to skip ahead in this video to see how this game actually is. This is kind of like a spin-off one level thing. Later on, you'll be controlling a bunch of minions and building a bunch of things underground.
Absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the west with the greatest of ease. The defenders in front of the city had been beaten to a pulp and defeated. Now the time had come to attack King's Ending. The final battle beckoned.
I should also mention I can't rotate the camera. I can only turn it this way and this way by holding two different keys, but the keys are the in key and the page down key, so it's kind of weird.
Destroy them now.
So most of the time you're not going to be changing the camera. It's very similar to StarCraft 2 camera angle.
It's all-powerful magic to eliminate the archers and open the gate to the city. Using its legend, wait for it, dairy powers. The absolute evil destroyed the impediment with ease and simultaneously eliminated a whole group of defenders. The road to the capital was now clear. The absolute evil did not hesitate for even 1 nanosecond. The insidious evil entered King's Ending. A small, pitiful group of defenders stood in its way. Suddenly, the doors of several houses in the city opened, and with a loud roar...
I'm pretty sure I can't die on this level, so even though my HP looks like it's low, I think I'm fine.
The invincible evil had crushed the defenders. King's Ending had been defeated. At least, that's what it thought. Suddenly, the final heroes of the Alliance emerged from nowhere. Another ambush? Now, this was becoming very boring. But wait, this time it was different. Instead, the heroes raised their hands and started singing an incomprehensible chant. A magical ritual? This did not bode well. Well, actually, it bode the arrival of good things, great things, unless you happen to be the absolute evil.
Woo, mission complete.
Somewhere in the depths of the dungeon, the ultimate evil awoke. It did not know what had happened, nor why it had awoken, but it longed for revenge. The last remaining heroes of the country joined forces and cast a powerful banishment spell. The absolute evil disappeared from sight with a threatening gesture, and a faint whispered, "I'll be back," could be heard coming from its lips. The evil creatures were driven back into the underground, doomed to serve as cannon fodder for pleasure-seeking adventurers. Meanwhile, secreted away in the world's most inaccessible places, the last remains of the absolute evil were resting, never again to see the light of the overworld. Until today, that is. Somewhere deep under the earth, the ultimate evil awoke.
Boom, boom, boom. So the narrator guy, he calls you by a bunch of different names, but you're essentially named the evil. But he calls you like the ultimate evil, the invincible evil, the unstoppable evil.
Controlled by the ultimate evil. Come on, Hand of Terror, arise, damn you! Methinks that exploring the surrounding area would be a sensible strategy. However, to do this, light would be required. Still not bright enough. An old throne room was revealed by the light. the circumstances remained a mystery. The hand of terror flew through the throne room, following each and every thought the ultimate evil had. After a few flying sessions, the ultimate evil was able to control the hand with ease. The time had come to call forth creatures who were completely devoted to it and would do its dirty work. Little snots were the dregs of each and every dungeon and spent their time taking care of it. The expansion-mad evil hired one snot on the spot. The first little snot appeared. It was completely ready to work in the dungeon and to crawl in the dust before the ultimate evil. Little snots were important to the ultimate evil because they took care of many important little things, such as excavating new areas. The psionically gifted evil could sense the presence of something important that was buried to the south. It instructed its little snots to dig in that direction. As quick as a fart, the little snot made his way to the marked position and began to dig. Behold, the creatures of the overjoyed evil had apparently been much more industrious than it had thought. A great dungeon was revealed behind the wall. Everything was already in place. Doors, traps, a well-filled treasury. Oh wait, treasury? And where, if you please, is this treasury? Oh well. One can't expect too much of these mindless little snots. First of all, some gold had to be dug out to make space for a treasury to be created. The hand of terror swiftly marked a few small gold veins so that the little snots could excavate them. As soon as the gold vein was selected, a little snot immediately set out to mine valuable gold for the greedy evil.
Alright, so you basically manage these little goblins, and you can build other sorts of goblins and orcs and trolls to defend your little base here, and you expand, and you basically find all sorts of different enemies to defeat, and you build different rooms and all sorts of different buildings and such. So they're transporting the gold over here by my shadowy Lord of Evil, or whatever his name is, Invincible Evil. So the first goal is to mine the gold, and then we're going to make a treasure room so that the little goblins don't have to walk all the way over here to get the gold.
The Hand of Terror quickly created a treasury on the spot so that the precious metal could be safely stored. The clever evil mastered this task with flying colors. From now on, little snots could use the treasury to store mined gold. It was there at the greedy evil's disposal whenever more rooms needed to be built or new creatures recruited. Little snots were all well and good, but were too weak and cowardly to defend the dungeon. Since it was not able to defend itself, the ultimate evil would have to hire some orcs. But they would require food. Liquid food. Well, beer to be precise. So the next important thing to build was a brewery. And that would require some space to be created. The ultimate evil had the feeling that its servants were not really putting their backs into the work. Might a hearty slap from the Hand of Terror change that? The sadistic evil encouraged its creature to work a little faster, with a friendly but not at all gentle slap.
It's really funny, you can slap the little minions to make them work a little faster for like 5 seconds. It only does like 5 points of damage, and they heal up over time, so you can just keep slapping all of them. Work faster. So I'm making beer now. You need beer to make orcs. And orcs are kind of like defensive troops.
There was now an area cleared for the brewery site, and with quick finger snaps from the Hand of Terror, the room stood ready. Excellent. But the recently built brewery lacked a brewing copper. With a sigh of resignation, the overworked evil set about taking care of that too. The hard-working evil effortlessly built a brewing copper so that delicious beer could be brewed as soon as possible. One of the little snods started working on the brewing copper. The nostalgic evil banished all thoughts of Oktoberfest and brass bands. Those would have to wait. More important tasks had to be completed first. Both beer and gold were now available in the dungeon, so it was time to hire some creatures to defend against greedy heroes or whatever else snuck around underground. At present, it was only simple orcs declaring undying loyalty to the ultimate evil. The rest of the horde was scattered to the winds. Orcs were defensive, close combat specialists, capable of dealing with many opponents. However, they were very vulnerable to ranged attacks. It's payday. An eerie gong rang through the hall. It did not bode well for the ultimate evil's treasury stocks, for at each sounding of the gong, the creatures would collect their undeserved wages. However, there was little it could do about this, as it was chained to the throne. Thus, it had to give free rein to its servants' desires. The time being, at least.
Alright, so next goal is to build 5 orcs. As you can see, these orcs are pounding away at these walls. They kind of fortify the walls with these wooden planks to make the walls stronger. I guess that's good later on against enemies. But right now, they're just doing it because they have nothing else to do. Okay, I need a little bit more gold to get 2 more orcs. So I'm just waiting for these guys to finish up. I suppose I could build another treasury over here.
Suddenly, one of the repellent evil's servants became very thirsty. This was typical of a troop member of the unanonymous alcoholics known as the Horde. The Dipso made his way to the nearest brewery to quench his thirst.
As you can see,
arrived at the brewery. Eager and slavering, he started to... The dungeon of the expansion-mad evil grew and prospered, but unfortunately, it had reached the maximum possible population it could currently manage. Now a creature would have to be thrown into the bottomless pit before any others could be brought in.
Oops. As you can see, they drink beer every so often, and there constantly needs to be a supply of beer to keep them happy. So now I need to sacrifice one more little minion. I'm gonna sacrifice this guy. And then we're going to build one more. Oops, not enough available points. Oops. Let's go ahead and get rid of this guy.
One louse-infested orc crawled up from the depths and declared allegiance to the ultimate evil. The first step towards the creation of a powerful army had been taken. The profound evil had had enough of dungeon sightseeing and now wanted to move to the surface to try a dish that is best served cold. Revenge. Some Alliance members were bound to be guarding the entrance to the overworld. A fine appetizer for a vengeful evil.
So now I need to build south, and there's some spiders, and I need to pick up my troops.
The abysmal evil used the hand of terror to grab several of the creatures that were still inexperienced at fighting, and threw them onto the spider's nest.
And now they'll fight all these spiders for us.
The spiders dropped like flies. The strategically well-versed evil patted itself on the back, proud that it had led its troops into battle with such aplomb. And by led, I just simply mean chucking them at the enemy. The basics of a dungeon were now in place. However, the brewery was puny and didn't really have room to store beer barrels in, and the treasury was also anything but impressive in size. Quickly, the expansion-hungry evil set out to enlarge its dungeon.
Alright, so I have a new quest, expand your brewery. So I'm going to expand it, and then I'll be building another, what do you call this? I forgot what you called it. A kettle, brew kettle. Slap, slap, slap! Hurry up. Oh wait, I need to expand the brewery first. Rooms, oops, production, brewery, and then... Perfect. And then click this. Build a kettle. Oh, can I not build it here? Dang it. I think I built the wrong way. I guess we're gonna build this way. There we go.
Creatures of the ultimate evil suddenly developed a craving for chocolate.
Oh wait, never mind. I don't have to build another cauldron. I thought I had to build another cauldron. Oh well. Okay, so dig south. Let's go ahead and dig south. I guess we need to take care of these. And we need to keep heading south. Slap. Work faster. Slap. Hey, what is this?
Evil has awoken, but its brothers are still asleep.
Huh? What on earth was that? That's not in my script. No matter. We'd better get back to concentrating on the dungeon.
I really wish you could rotate your camera. I wish I could like look the opposite way. All I can do is this. Can't do any more than that. And you have to press the N key or the page down key, which is really far out of the way.
On 8 legs. This dungeon's human guards had been ancient history for a long while. Now it was home to a huge spider and her brood. Would Sam and Frodo escape it and continue their journey to Mount Doom, or was this the
Sam
end
and Frodo?
of the ring bearer? Hang on a minute, that's not the right text. Oh yes, a huge spider, henceforth called the Spider Queen. It would be necessary to eliminate the Spider Queen before the Horde could reach the surface. The Spider Queen sent forth a wave of her children. Of course, the ultimate evil was fully aware of this danger and immediately prepared to defend itself against them.
Uh-oh.
That's what I heard.
Okay, good. There's some health potions. I can throw one of my units on the health potion to heal them. Or I can just throw the health potion on top of them. That'll probably be easier. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. And they are all healed.
The vile perversion,
Sweet.
once called the Spider Queen, had nothing more with which she could fight the Horde. Later,
Man, I love
the
these
sensitive
graphics.
Eagle would have her innards made into a lava lamp. The way to the surface was open. Now it was time to put those vengeance plans into practice. The vile evil wanted to take this opportunity to utter a really sinister laugh. But unfortunately, its physical state made this unviable. Instead, it asked the narrator to do a bit of sinister laughter on its behalf. Oh well, here goes. Deep breath.
Victory! On
Once
to
the
level 3.
ultimate evil had escaped from the depths, still fettered to the throne, it traveled to wreak terrible vengeance on those who had done this. Heavily
Actually, I'm going to stop it here, and part 3 will be in the next video. If you enjoyed this game, be sure to, or enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this game on Steam. Again, it's called Dungeons 2. I'll leave a link in the description below, and I hope you guys have a great day.